Welcome to the Band Director Bootcamp podcast, the go-to place for busy band directors who want practical to build programs while maintaining balance in their lives. This podcast is brought to you by the Empowered Music Educator Academy, where we help directors like you find efficiency, sustainability, and impact in your teaching and leadership. And speaking of impact, our platinum sponsor, Kennelly Keys Music, has been serving musicians with a commitment to quality, reliability, and exceptional service. Whether you need top-tier instruments, expert repairs, or trusted advice, they've got you covered. Now, let's dive in and set the tempo for success.
Welcome to another episode of Band Director Bootcamp, podcast with productivity and wellness tips to help busy band directors amplify their impact and not their workload. I'm your host, Lesley Moffat, and I'm really grateful to be sharing this platform with you. We know you don't have lots of time to watch lengthy professional development webinars, so we bring you 20-minute tidbits with takeaways you can use to support you and help you amplify your impact and not your workload in this awesome career. Today's guest is a gentleman named Milas Yoes. He's a longtime jazz educator, and he's an author of this book I'm holding in my hands called Diving into Jazz Band with Confidence and Joy, the ultimate companion for music educators at all levels. He's helped countless teachers feel comfortable, capable, and excited about teaching jazz, even if they didn't grow up playing it. And I just am super excited to have you here because your enthusiasm for doing this, it's not just about the content of teaching joy, but teaching jazz, but doing it with joy and confidence. And when you have the confidence, the joy can come. So I love this approach. It's more than just the technical stuff. So I'm so grateful for you being here today. And I'm going to let you talk to the audience in a minute. But I'm going to tell you guys why you should stay tuned. Let me tell you, we got a few great takeaways for you today. We're going to talk about how you can start or grow a jazz band at any level, even if you're experienced or you feel inexperienced. So that's one thing. He's going to share some simple rehearsal strategies pulled from his book here of practical and real world solutions. This is from somebody who's been in there and been there, done that, and they're sharing it. That's how the expertise has come along. And finally, why teaching jazz can be fun and rewarding no matter what your background is, and how you can start doing it with confidence. So here to do all that today and to teach us a little bit about this is Milas Yoes. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thank you. I'll have to make a quick correction. It's Milas. First name is L-A-S. But trust me, I've been called a lot worse, so it's fine. It's fine.
You guys, I taught all day, middle school. Need I say any more? This is the end of the day recording, so my apologies.
You are forgiven. No worries. No worries. It's great. It's a great way to start the podcast.
Is it? Okay. Like your attitude. Well, hey, tell us what inspired you to write this book specifically for directors who might feel inexperienced. Is there a reason?
Oh, lots of reasons. First and foremost, as you very well know, and everybody listening knows, jazz pedagogy is not much of a requirement for instrumental music education in the universities, okay? They wouldn't dare let a graduate leave without marching band techniques and conducting classes and things like that. Instrumental methods, those are very, very important. But a lot of times kids will get through and have no jazz experience whatsoever. So for me, it's for that young lady or young man who was an all-stater, the state of Washington, went to a grade school like Central, got a degree in music education, but maybe they were an oboe player or a flute player or someone who was not that associated with jazz in high school or in college. Maybe their friends played in the jazz band and they went to the concerts. Then they go out, they graduate, get a degree in music education, and they have an interview at the middle school they want to teach at, and the principal says, "Can you teach a jazz band? We have a jazz band at our school." And of course, he or she, what are they going to say? "Oh, sure, I can do that," because they want the gig. Or they wake up the next day, excuse me, and they realize, "Hey, I got the job. There's a jazz band. Now what do I do? I haven't played in one. Sorry, my voice just went south. I haven't played in one. I haven't taught one. What do I do? Well, here you go. It's step by step how to recruit, how to build, and all the nuts and bolts. So by the time, let's say they finished their first year in their middle school jazz band, not only did they survive, but they thrived. And that makes me very happy. And my real motivation, you guys, is what's good for the kids.
And that jazz gives something, there's a whole different way of expressing oneself in jazz. And I mean, it opens so many doors that even in the best classical, if you will, it's different. And so, yeah. And so talk to us about what that new director, what are some of the biggest challenges they're going to face? Let's say there is a jazz band established there already, and they're going to step in to where the kids have already been playing in jazz and might have an expectation of what's there. And now there's this new person the oboe player who's got the jazz gig. Let's help her out.
Well, I think it's, going on to my second chapter, I interviewed 3 sets of band parents, jazz band parents. And I had a gal in my jazz band at Phoenix College. Then I had her daughter. And we got to talking about, their experience they had with a director who did not have much experience at the high school level teaching jazz. And it was unpleasant for everybody involved. And so I thought, well, what can I do to help everybody, the kids, the parents? And so the first thing the parents said is, don't let them see you sweat. So almost the kind of fake it till you make it kind of thing, so that you can have confidence in what you're doing, which is part of the title of the book, having the confidence, and the kids will seize on that. If you hesitate and you're not sure, then the kids, this, band kids are very smart. They're intellectuals, they're talented. So that's the first thing, is to make sure that you have confidence in front of them. The second thing, I'm going to jump right to the meat and potatoes, dear. Choosing music is really critical. To this day, I still stress over so much about choosing the right tune for the right band. Is my trumpet range going to fit? How are my saxophones? The rhythm section, what's going on in the rhythm section? Things like that. So choosing music that's dialed into the level of the students that you have so they can be successful. Okay?
How many of us as new jazz teachers, even though we had great jazz experiences, we were ready, then we tried all those cool tunes with our young bands too. There's some wise information that some of us go back and revisit too.
Right. And I think, excuse me, one of the biggies as a judge, I've judged jazz festivals for 30, 40 years now, is the rhythm section. Again, that oboe player, flute player, whatever it might be. What do I do with the piano player? What do I do with the guitar player? What do I do with the bass and the drums? And sometimes that'll be the downfall of the band, as you very well know, Lesley. They, the instrument, the winds, brass, everybody's together. They're in tune. They're swinging, and then you get, a guitar player and a piano player that are not matching up their voicings together. The bass is in a different key. And so what do I do with that rhythm section? So again, to go back to my book, I spent a lot of time going over rhythm section things, choosing music for rhythm section, teaching rhythm section techniques, things to help them really basically use their last piano skills that they had as an undergrad, right? Just voicings and things, and then using their basic theory. We have a major chord and a minor chord at the same time. Well, go back to your theory classes. So they are more prepared than they think that they are.
Oh, I hope people heard that. You're more prepared than you think you are. Did you hear
Yeah,
that?
we are. I mean,
Hmm.
and then the final point is perseverance. I remember one of my first screensavers in my Apple at my college was the word that came up. It was dauntless. And I've kind of used that term with myself that no matter what happens in jazz band, concert band, marching band, whatever it is you're working, orchestra, choir, you're just dauntless. You are unflappable. And sure, things are awkward and weird and crazy, but you maintain your cool. You keep smiling, and you're in my side. You're going, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what am I doing?" But outwardly, you're just keeping your cool because you're dauntless, and good things will happen. Then you go home and you reevaluate for the next day. So you got to be a thick skin about this and be determined, because the rewards. Can I jump to the rewards real quick?
Well, go ahead. Let's do it.
The rewards for the kids are a lot of times in my book. One time I talked about kids that can't march. They just don't get it. Their feet are too stubby and short, but they could sight read anything. You know what I mean? Or they just struggle with the conventional things, even concert band. And then you get them in a jazz band, and all of a sudden they get to improvise, and all of a sudden there's a whole new kid blossoming in front of you. So the whole improvisation thing, and then the jazz styles and so forth. So helping them come out of their shell, especially my middle school kids, it was amazing how hard I pushed everybody to try to improvise, even if it was bad. Everybody's first solo was bad. It's always going to be bad, but it's good because you took that chance. And I can't tell you how many dozens of kids did a solo, worked on it in front of their peers, got a little more confidence, stepped out in front of an audience in that first concert, man, and you just see them blossom. Well, they really can't get that with a marching band setting. And I love marching band. So I grew up in Texas. So I get it. I understand. Concert band. I had great concert band conductors in high school and college. So I understand and I get that too. There's not a lot of space for improvisation in those ensembles, but the kids get a chance to step out and maybe be themselves a little bit more, you know? And then you can hook them back into your other ensembles and they're going to blossom there too.
Yeah. So lots of reasons too. Not just you got to understand all the benefits that can come with doing this, and how to take what you already know, the verbiage you've learned, and just put it into the jazz language. So that book is going to be super helpful for folks out there, like we've been talking about. I got a few more things because I want to have you share some practical tools and maybe some daily wins for our jazz directors here.
Sure.
But before we do that, I'm going to pause and take a moment to recognize our sponsors. If you're listening to this while thinking about everything still on your to-do list, I see you. One of the reasons I started building tools alongside this podcast was because even the best strategies don't help you if you're too exhausted to implement them. That's exactly why I created Band Director Buddy GPT. It's a productivity and wellness tool designed to think like a successful band director and support the real work behind the scenes, the planning, emails, scheduling, and problem solving, and more, so you can amplify your impact without increasing your workload. If you're a busy band, choir, or orchestra teacher who wants a sustainable way to do this job, you can learn more at banddirectorbuddy.com. All right, I am back with Milas Yoes, not Michael. He's not here anymore, and we're gonna share a little bit more from his book that has just come out called "Diving into Jazz Bands with Confidence and Joy: The Ultimate Companion for Music Educators at All Levels." So you don't have to convince me about the joy of jazz. I spent 35 years getting up for 6:30 a.m. jazz band classes. I get it. And,
Thank you for your service to our art form. Thank you.
And I love what it does with kids and for kids. There's a different camaraderie that kids develop in that. It's a whole thing, and it can enhance another part of your program. It doesn't have to be instead of or more exclusive. But just this practical tools that you're giving us, so that we have the more opportunities for folks out there. We've got a little bit of time left, and I thought it'd be great to give our listeners some actionable strategies that help build or strengthen the jazz group. So you talked about improv and everything. So what's something that they could start doing? Because that's scary. How do I teach improvising?
Right. The big things is rhythm section, teaching improv, and teaching swing. So in my book, I pushed those real hard. I broke them down from all my friends, the late great Fred Sturm, all my people I worked with, my judges, my clinicians, and stuff. And so, yeah. So shall we talk about teaching improvisation then, Lesley?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's hard for some folks.
Okay. Well, I can just pretty much shoot from the hip on this. In the book, I have, for no other better reason, I call it a G minor groove, where we just take a voicing for the piano, G minor, a voicing for the guitar, G minor, a little hip bass line that fits G minor, and then a drum groove that middle school kids could play. The kids I've worked with usually grasp it within 15, 20 minutes max. They really get it going fast. And then we take, on top of that G minor chord, we put a B flat major scale on top of it, because that's the one we all teach in middle schools. And that's pretty much the first one that I'm most familiar with. Then we switch it if we run it up whole notes and half notes and stuff against the groove. So you start to hear the notes of the scale and which note sounds best to them. And maybe you might want to think about that one note that sounds the prettiest. And then we do the switcheroony into relative minor. So now we take the same scale, but instead of going concert B flat to B flat, we go concert G to G. And if we're really hip, we'll go up to the A, which is the ninth, which is the prettiest note in my world. I love a G minor 9 chord. That just makes me so happy. And we run the scale, whole notes, half notes, quarter notes. And each one of you out there who do this, you can adjust. You don't have to do everything all at once. You can do pick and choose, whatever time you have, whatever your kids are capable of. And then we have the teacher get out their instrument, or they scat sing, or they play on the piano, just a concert G, the root of the G minor chord. And we talk about half of improvisation is rhythm. Okay? So we do a lot of call and response on the note G with the rhythm section grooving. So you might go boo-doo-dat, and the kids have to play it back to you. Foo-doo-dat, zabba-doodle-dat, zaddle-doodle-dat, right? Then you go around the room and have kids be the leader. Whatever kid comes up with a rhythm. Now, this is mostly beginners in middle school. High school kids, they might roll their eyes to their heads. Too easy. Then, the same thing on a concert B flat. So now we have a root and a third of the chord. And we go, okay, now we're going to improvise on 2 notes. With the rhythm section still grooving, having a great time. G minor just sounds so hip. It's just minor. We did a minor blues tune last night at my big band rehearsal. I just love minor blues. It's so great. It's the hippest sound in the world. And so you got the root and the third. And here's the magic. I was at a middle school in Tempe a couple of years ago with a buddy of mine, and we tried this out. So we said, okay, I'm bored with these 2 notes, G and a B flat. Now, the kids, you pick the third note. It can be any note that you want, but you pick it. And so they do the root, the third, and the third note of their choice. Or sometimes if they add a fourth note, whatever. And then you have them play all together on top of the rhythm sections. I like to call it safety in numbers. So when they're improvising, it's a cacophony of noise, and heaven help you if your principal shows up and they hear this stuff going on. But you'll start to hear phrases and improvisation things that you never knew those kids had in them. So it's a good way for you to take inventory about, ooh, who are my real jazzers in this band? And then you'll start to hear some really hip phrases. Okay, choose a fourth note. And right there, you've got it. And then you can move on to a different chord, different chord tones. And then I have a more systematic approach for more advanced high school bands. You could take a chart that you're going to play, do the very same thing with the first chord, the next chord, whatever it might be. And it's just magical. I mean, the first time I did it with my middle school junior high band in 1988, I was just floored. I had no idea that those kids could play real jazz when it was safety in numbers. That's the key. It's got to be a nurturing environment where you're not critical of them. They can't see, fire the critics and just let them be themselves and play. And tell them, I used to tell the kids in the band hall at my middle school, this room is it time? Okay.
No, keep just wrapping it up.
Okay, wrap it.
Keep telling your story.
This room is full of ghosted bad notes. So we're going to work on our improvisation. So let the notes sound bad, and then let's figure out a way to reconstruct them so they sound good.
Yeah, I spent today doing so much of what you're talking about. I feel really good about it. It's like, but I did it with 45 kids in the room, sixth graders and I just played a 2/5. So you just sat there and they had 3 notes to choose from and it was very limited, but we started with 1 note and just the rhythms. And it's the day before break and it was something new and they were just loving it. And it was that cacophony. I said, now we're going to do like 8 measures with everybody so they could all have that safety and then kids would volunteer. So the stuff you're talking about works. This is great. Before I let you go, will you tell us where can we find this book?
It's really easy. It's Lulu, Lulu.com. And you just find Diving into Jazz Band with Confidence and Joy. Not Michael Yoes, but Milas Yoes.
Oh, yeah.
And Lulu.com. And a little promotional thing. If they want to, there's a nice 10% discount starting December the 6th. It's a print on demand. They get on, use the card and pay. And Lulu, so far, all the books my friends have gotten, and yourself included, I haven't heard a single complaint about the printouts. So it's great.
Beautiful quality. Very nice. Very nice. Well, we'll put that link. I know it's a long one to remember, so we'll put that in the show notes for the folks to gather. And so, and you can reach out to Milas for professional development workshops or adjudicating and the like too. So check out all the things he's available to do. Thank you for coming here today.
Yeah.
And all you listeners, hey, if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to this. Go ahead and rate it and share the podcast. Get it out to more people. And I was wondering if it was appropriate to share my latest endeavor. And then I thought it's my podcast, so I can. We're talking to another author. So I'm just going to promo out there. My latest book has come out, The Balanced Band Director. And I have found true joy. Again, in year 38, I feel like a new teacher, having a great time. And I'm not the person that wrote the book. I love my job, but it's killing me anymore. So if you're looking for ways to do this job in a more sustainable way, put some practical advice in there too. You can find out on my website. I'll put links everywhere for you. But good times today. It was fun to talk about the jazz band and all the possibilities that are out there when we let children start that creativity process. So that's a wrap on this episode of Band Director Boot Camp. Thank you, Milas Yoes, for sharing such great information today, and to all of you out there who keep showing up for your kids and teaching music every day. Remember, success in music education isn't just about what happens on the podium. It's about taking care of yourself and setting up systems that work for you so you can amplify your impact and not your workload. Thanks for listening, and keep making a difference in kids' lives through the magic of music education. Before you go, I want to leave you with this. You don't need to work harder to be effective. You just need better support. Band Director Buddy GPT was created for music educators who care deeply about their programs but are tired of carrying everything alone. It's there to help you think through challenges, streamline the busy work, and protect your time and energy without lowering your standards. If that sounds like what you've been craving, head to banddirectorbuddy.com to explore how it works and decide if it's a good fit for you. Thanks for listening to the Band Director Bootcamp podcast and for the work you do every single day.
That's a wrap on this episode of the Band Director Bootcamp podcast. Remember, success in music education isn't just about what happens on the podium. It's about taking care of yourself and setting up systems that work for you. The Empowered Music Educator Academy is here to help you do just that. So be sure to check out our resources at empowerededucator.com. And of course, a huge thank you to Kennelly Keys Music, our platinum sponsor, for their unwavering support of music educators like you. Whether you need instruments, accessories, or expert advice, their team is ready to help. Thanks for listening and keep making music happen.